You and me, we ain't nothing alike. Let's set the record straight. Those words you say, they hold no weight, they like. Let's set the record straight. You'll never break the man before you're out.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wave preview. This is Authentics 2022 Wave 2. Now Lionel put this out about 3-4 days ago. Now I have not been around for, I want to say like a week or so. I've just kind of been dealing with a few things and I've been at work. They've been having me come in pretty early. So when I get home, I normally sleep until like, I don't know, 11, 12 maybe. And then I got to get back up and go in at like 4 or 5, somewhere around there. So, you know, it's kind of been a little hectic in terms of like not really getting a chance to just kind of settle down a bit. And then when I do finally have some time to myself, normally I'll just kind of watch YouTube or something like that. So, yeah, but anyway, this is Wave 2. Now, this is filled with next gens, but not really the Gen 7s you would kind of think of. Most of them are test cars. I believe there's only one that is not a test car for the Cup Series, and we got an Xfinity car in here too. So let's go ahead and get into this. Again, this is the Wave 2 for 2022 NASCAR Authentics. Honestly, I think this is a pretty decent wave, but I'll let you guys decide. First up, we probably have one of the best looking test cars ever. This is the Daniel Suarez test car. Now, this one is a next-gen paint scheme for 2022, of course. And so you got the number slid forward. So this is a official release of just the next gens. Now, I say official because we've had some things before. We've had like the track cars, not the releases that were at the track. I mean, like the actual program car for the Coke 600, but we are getting some brand new Gen 7 diecasts at the tracks. They have not been shipped out just yet. So this is our very first actual release in quotations because this will be released to the public, but it just kind of takes a minute to get to the stores. So honestly, I am going to probably pick up every single car in this wave. I'm going to try to get as many as I can, like, physically, I don't mean, like, one of each car, I mean, like, I'm going to get as many as I can, because, obviously, you know, I've got some customs to make, so I gotta kind of get on my game a little bit. But, of course, you know, there's some that I will not actually, like, get rid of or anything. I'm not going to customize some of them. This will be one of them. Again, this is the Trackhouse car. It looks super clean. I almost wish this was like an actual paint scheme because it looks really good. A lot of the test cars are normally really plain. They don't really have a lot of color to them. But, I mean, this one does, and I really like that. Now, I do want to talk about something that Lionel really attempted to do. So, in 2022, they brought back chrome numbers. Now, Lionel took a shot at the chrome numbers. They have done it perfectly before. But, on this one, I believe the roof number and the door numbers are supposed to be chrome on the actual car. Now, as far as the diecast release, it looks like they kind of got close on the side, but the roof number is just white. So I'm not really too sure on the complete accuracy of what number is supposed to be chrome, but you can definitely tell they tried to throw some chrome on the side. It doesn't look terrible, but it could be a lot better because, again, we've had actual really like legitimate chrome numbers. So I am kind of hoping that Lionel kind of fixes that here, you know, later on, because I have a feeling we're going to get a decent amount of Trackhouse cars just because of the popularity. Of course, I'm sure Suarez's win's going to get made, probably Chastain, at least one of them will get made. So hopefully we can kind of get that chrome numbers to be a little more accurate to how they were on the actual car. Next up is the number 5 Hendrick Motorsports test car. Now, I know some of the drivers ran, because there's 2 in this wave. There's the 9 and then there's the 5. So, I know Byron he ran this car. I believe, I don't know if Larson ran the car or not. It would only make sense. And I think Bowman ran this car as well. I could be wrong, but this one's pretty, you know, sweet and simple. Being a Hendrick fan, I am going to probably keep the test cars. I don't know if I'll keep them in the package, because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a test car. You know, not a lot of people are going to care about the test car, but, I mean, it's a clean scheme. And this is a white-based diecast. We know how Lionel does with white-based diecast, so we are going to just kind of take a look and see if they are doing any better with the paint on these next gens and see if they're, kind of upgrading their stuff a little bit. So also something that just kind of popped in my head. Apparently, I don't know how true, but I mean, I'm pretty sure this is accurate. I think for at least the Gold Series, there is different colored bases. So like on the bottom of the car, it can be either black or like kind of that whitish gray color we get in the Authentics line. I don't know for a fact. Now I am going to check whenever I get the wave if possible, because this is going to be in very high demand. But I don't know. From what I've seen, I do believe I am correct, but who knows? I don't really know the full, picture, I guess you could say. So I think there is different colors underneath of the cars, which is a little interesting, but again, it's something we're going to have to see for ourselves. Here is the Stuart Haas racing test car for Cole Custer specifically. So honestly, I didn't even know this thing ran. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know this was even a test car. It kind of looks like a throwback, because if you look at the 41, it's like in a circle, and it's like a lot smaller. It doesn't even look like a test car. I'm not even going to lie. I don't like the blue number on the roof, though, so this will more than likely be turned into a custom, just because I'm not really a fan of the actual scheme itself. I'm a Chevy person just in general, so far I'm going to be keeping the two Hendrick test cars and then the Trackhouse car just as of right now. I don't remember completely what's in this wave, but I know there is a lot of test cars in general. So again, the Stuart Haas one right here for Cole Custer. I mean, it's not terrible, but that 41 really kills it for me on the side, so this one will definitely be thrown into the custom pile. Austin Dillon, his test car, even though this does not look like a test car whatsoever. This looks like a legitimate paint scheme, and I don't know if he actually ran this paint scheme like as a actual like entry. I don't know if the paint scheme was the same, but there will be a custom of this. Now, this is not going to be like a complete strip down repaint custom. This is going to be a repaired custom from the test car after he crashed and they repaired it. I'm going to do one of those, because like as soon as I actually saw that happen, I was like, you know what, if that car gets made, I'll do a custom. So I had this way in mind forever ago, and I had multiple people tell me, hey, I can see you doing this crash car. I've had one talk about the actual crash and then one talking about the repair. I'm going to do the repair just because I think it'll be a little bit cooler. I do crash cars all the time, so I feel like doing a repaired diecast would be a little bit cooler. But I mean, say for whatever reason Austin Dillon does not get a diecast made other than the test car, you could still probably use it in some sort of stop motion series. But I mean, I'm telling you what, man, it looks just like a normal scheme. Now I actually believe it's very similar to last year's. I know the front end is pretty similar. Obviously, the door number is slid forward and everything, but I mean, everything else, it still looks like a really good paint scheme. So, nonetheless, this is a pretty cool test car. And I noticed they kind of brought back a little bit of style to the test cars, other than Hendrick, who just drove a white car with a big old Chevy logo on the front. But, it is what it is. So, again, this is another decent-looking test car. So, this one might get saved. This one may not. You never know. Here's a pretty interesting one. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the Kroger test car, with the door number in the center of the car. Now, as far as I know of, from what I've heard, I don't remember exactly how these looked like when they first would test their stuff, but apparently this one was tested before the numbers were actually officially slid forward. So that is why the number is in the center. But it's so weird. It's so cursed almost. Because now I'm gotten used to the numbers being slid forward because of the next gen car. And the next gen car looks decent with the numbers slid forward. Yeah, I know, I said it. But, I mean, it really does. It looks more modern. It looks, a little more fitting for the number being slid forward than compared to a Gen 6. But at the same time, the scheme on it looks pretty good, but it's a mix of it being plain and not being plain, because there's a big old Kroger logo on the front, and it's not just a Chevy logo or anything. So there's a big Kroger logo on the front, and then nothing on the deck lid nothing on the sides. There's a small Kroger logo at the bottom right above that skirt, but I mean, other than that, this is a weird in-between car. It's like a test car, but it's not a test car, and it looks like a Gen 6 with a number placement, and it's all types of weird. Even though this car is kind of cool, it will probably go to a custom as well. I got some LWCS paint schemes to be making because I am bringing that series back. 2023, we will kick up the next gen season. I'll finish out this one for this year, and then we can kind of move on to the big guns. You know, of course, let some schemes roll out and see how that does for just how many diecasts are released. So, yeah, that's probably be turned into a custom, but I wouldn't be surprised if this one somehow gets rare just because of that number placement, just because it's, you know, not how it was ran actually in terms of, like, the full season being the numbers moved forward. But, I mean, you never know. It's just a test car, so I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't get rare, and at the same time, I would be very surprised if it went for some sort of, or I wouldn't be surprised if it went for some sort of high value, just simply because of the number placement. This is a diecast we have seen before, Dillon Jr.'s Hellman's 2022 paint scheme for Martinsville. I actually saw that race in person, and I wasn't happy because he spun out, but still, I have made the race version of this paint scheme, or this car in general. So I've already got two. I've already got one in the Gold Series that was just, you know, plain untouched. And then I got one that was custom because obviously I was at the race. So whenever I actually get we get the 124s released, I will get one of those and then make a custom of that as well. But yes, I will be making another 164 for the Junior Martinsville car because, you know, gotta have some stuff for good old bottom bag diecast, so that will be thrown up on there as well. But again, pretty cool paint scheme. It does suck that, like, the banners aren't on these cars, but, you know, I was kind of slightly hoping they would fix that, but clearly they're not going to do so. Big Bad Brad Keselowski in the number 6 RFK test car. Honestly, this one looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. It's a really nice paint scheme. It's a really nice just car in general. I don't know if I'll turn this into a custom. I kind of like it a little too much, and I am a Brad K fan, unfortunately. So, you know what's weird? It's like, other than my main driver, right, I started to like my secondary drivers and like my secondary series and stuff a little bit more, and then they just go off the wall. Like, literally the day after I said on camera, I'm starting to like Noah Gragson a little bit more, he had that incident where he just, I don't remember who it was, but he turned that just dude on the road course, just completely wiped him out and caused that huge wreck. So that was a little embarrassing, to say the least. And then I became a fan of Brad Keselowski, I don't know, a couple years back, and then I really started talking about him, and he's had, like, the worst season ever. And he just had was it with Dillon? Austin Dillon? I think he had that whole kind of stuff going on. He kept running into him. I don't remember if it was Austin Dillon or not, but he had an incident yesterday, whenever you're seeing this, but still, you know, I might stick with just my main person, so I might just stick with Bowman and then, you know, just leave everybody out, because apparently if I have a second favorite driver in any series, they turn the crap for whatever reason and just kind of destroy everybody. So, I don't know, I'm not too sure. I was also starting to like Ross Chastain, too. I don't know why I turn like Australian, like Ross Chastain. No, but like, I was actually starting to like Ross, and then he just dove through the field. So I'm cursed or something, because something's going on. But either way, this paint scheme is really cool, so I'll probably keep it, you know, just at least for a little bit until some of the actual Brad schemes start being released. As I said earlier, there is a number 5 and a number 9 Hendrick test car. This is the number 9. I believe Elliott, Larson, and Byron drove this car. I don't think Bowman did. So it's pretty much copy-paste of the number 5. Just one's a 9, one's a 5. So, I mean, you know, again, perfect for customs. It's already white. I mean, so you can already you can probably spray over it and you'll be fine. You don't have to strip the paint or anything. But, I mean, you know, if I can get multiple of these diecasts, I'm definitely going to do as many customs as possible because, you know, obviously, I got some stuff to do. So, we're getting a lot of Gold Series releases. We're getting a lot of Authentics releases. So, you know, hopefully we can kind of get in here and to start getting some Gold Series here very soon. Kevin Harvick, and probably one of the most cool looking paint schemes I've seen in a while, and it's definitely one of the better ones for the Gen 7. This is the gear wrench paint scheme, and it's not a test car. It is a legitimate paint scheme. Now, in this picture, it does look a little crooked, like that forward does look a little wonky. And you'll notice underneath the gear wrench, it's pretty blank as well. I'm pretty sure that's because there's supposed to be a Busch logo there, so that's why, they don't have it on the Authentics cars, because, it's an alcohol thing, and they can't, ship that out in stores without a base, and they don't do bases on the Authentics, so still, really nice paint scheme. I mean, eventually, if this comes out in the Gold Series, I will get it in the Gold Series, and then I'll just kind of turn this into a custom anyway. But nonetheless, this is a really nice paint scheme. Now, I do want to say what I really like is more of the side, because you got the number 4 in that kind of the little pocket area, and then you got the gear wrench, which looks underlined. I mean, technically it is, but it isn't. But they really used up that door space that they moved the 4 forward to. So I really appreciate that. Even though it does look kind of weird, because, it's supposed to be kind of slanted a little more, they used the entirety of gear wrench, from underneath of Harvick's name, or a little before the window net, all the way back to the American ethanol ring, or the bioethanol ring. So, I mean, yeah, they used up that space really good, and I really do appreciate that, because that's supposedly what it was for. I don't believe that, but that's what they say, that's what they claim, but they did a pretty good job on this paint scheme. And again, it does suck that there is a little bit of a baldness down at the bottom, but again, I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a Busch logo down there or something, but either way, this is still a pretty cool car. And that will do it for this wave, but you may be thinking, well, what about the liquid color? Lionel didn't post one, so apparently we don't have one for this wave. And I have just looked up the official, the Lionel Racing NASCAR Authentics page, and there's no liquid color. It's just the Suarez, both Hendrick cars, the Custer, the Dillon, Stenhouse Jr, Brad, and Harvick. I mean, there is no liquid color. Now, I can understand why there's no liquid color, but I'm kind of surprised they didn't do Junior, because honestly, it feels like that should be incredibly obvious that they would have done Junior, because, well, here's why. Everything else is a test car but Harvick. Harvick's primary color for that car is black. That's not a good liquid color. We know the black liquid colors are not very good. Junior, they could have made that blue liquid color, and it would have looked fantastic. And it's Junior, hello, liquid color or not, that will sell. Obviously, I would try to get it myself if possible. So, I mean, I feel like they should have at least done the Junior, and that's not biased. I mean, because I like seeing a liquid color wave. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. A liquid color per wave, right? So, I mean, they could have switched it up a little bit, maybe thrown in the Suarez as the liquid color, maybe something like that, but I feel like anything else, maybe the Brad, maybe if they did a liquid color green, I feel like that would have been really nice. But again, it's a test car. I don't really know if a lot of people would be into the liquid color test cars just because they're test cars, they're not actual paint schemes. So again, a legitimate, non-biased opinion, I feel like they really should have done Juniors for a liquid color, but I can also understand why they didn't, because, the Hellman's, for, probably, 60% of that car is white. So, I mean, a white liquid color isn't very good either, but I mean, you never know, you still could have done the blue, or they could have done a Stenhouse, for the liquid color. That would have been pretty interesting, but I don't know, but there was not a liquid color for this wave. I don't remember if there was one for wave 1. Yeah, there was. It was the Larson. So, I'm not really too sure. I thought they was going to do one for every wave, but I don't know if they just couldn't do it for this wave, or if they're just didn't think any of the schemes fit very well, but I don't know. Maybe wave 3 will have a liquid color. I guess we will, because, I haven't seen a statement from Lionel being oh yeah, we discontinued the liquid colors, or no, we're only doing no liquid color for this specific wave. So I'm not really too sure what's really going on. I mean, honestly, I would be okay if they stopped doing the liquid colors, but at the same time, I mean, it's pretty cool to have that little special chase piece along with your wave. But I don't know. Overall, this wave is pretty good. Now, it's weird because, like, it's so hard to say. So, like, scratch out the test cars. Now, I know it's saying a lot, but say for the number 5 test car, say if that was, like, the Kyle Larson Hendrick cars, or take out the number 9 test car and say that was an Elliott Napa. Take out the Cole Custer, just put it as a normal paint scheme. Take out the Suarez one, put that as a normal Suarez paint scheme. Same for Dillon, same for Stenhouse. You get what I'm saying, right? If they did that, like, the drivers are good picks. I mean, I kind of don't like the duplicate Hendrick cars, to be honest, and that's coming from a Hendrick guy, so I mean, I'm not going to rate this one just simply because it's so back and forth, because the drivers are good, the paint schemes are good, but they're test cars, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to rate this specific wave, but a lot of people are saying, oh, it's the best wave, but they literally say that about every single wave ever released when it gets released. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's awesome that we have the next gen cars finally here on the Authentics line, but that doesn't really make it the best wave, because you really got to consider what's in the wave versus what we're actually getting in terms of the models. So, I don't know. That's kind of my opinion on the whole wave, but it's not a bad wave nonetheless. Don't get me wrong, but, you know, let me know what you think down in the comments. So, with that being said, that's going to be all for this little preview of Wave 2. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.